Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ingus and I'm from IGS Electronics, and today we're going to be checking out a new drive. And actually it is a new manufacturer that I have never worked with before, and that manufacturer is called Delta. And one of the drives that we will be checking out today is a VFD-E model drive, which is pretty much the same as VFD-E-L drive. It's just E version's got quite a bit more functionality in it than a EL one, so yeah, that's the only difference. So we're going to be doing again 3 videos. We'll be checking out how to commission it, factory reset, and do the local run and set up all the multi parameters. Second video, we're going to be checking out 2-3 wire control and also be using remote potentiometer. And the third video, as usual, we're going to be checking out how to set up the drive to drive's frequency to control with a MOP control, which is a 2-button up-down control, and also set up the drive in multi-frequency setup. That's pretty much the schedule for next 3 videos. So all the manuals, any other related videos and everything like that, I would think that benefits you in any possible way, do check out in the description below. So without further ado, let's get started. Here we are, so all wired in. So as typical, as usual, we are going to go through all the wiring points as well. So the power comes from here, right on the top. I use in single phase, so I've got a live and a neutral in there. There's 2 versions of this. The one is called E and one is called EL. EL version comes with a integrated control, integrated panel, pretty much identical to this one. And E1 comes with the unit that it comes off, and the difference between them is just the E version's got quite a lot more functionality in it than the EL version. So pretty much the setup is all the same. It's just like this version's got PLC and all sorts of shebangs in it that you can play with. But we probably maybe we'll cover it in future videos, the PLC functionality and things like that. We will see. So first thing, again, we continue with you've got I like that when manufacturer put the earth terminals next to a line neutrals or whatever you're using, so it's just a normal screw terminal. And also you can put the motor earth down here if you wish to. And we've got 3 phases that is going to our motor. These are the units for the outputs to the motor. So the next we have a look at these terminals in here. It's got the 3 blocks in here, one in here, this one in here. This is for your external cards. You can add cards to it if you wish to. That's again for much more advanced setups again we're not going to be looking into that one. So first, the one thing is downer to me. I just don't like it. They put all the right on the bottom. I don't know why they do that, because there's plenty of room on the top. I don't know why can't you just put it on top so everybody can see what it is. So now you literally have to bend down and have a look at it. But anyway, stop complaining. So it's got a 6 inputs, and then it's got the DCM. Those are going to be used for NPN controls. Let me quickly show you. If you there is a sort of it gives you a diagram. So it tells you what terminals you need to use for each setup. So do check out that in a manual if you wish to see what is what. By default, it is on NPN. So we are going to be using this, what's it called again? DCM output to control our inputs. And from there on, he's got the bank for analog inputs, and this bank in here, that will be for your analog outputs and other outputs. And then there, this is going to be your relay output as well. And that one down here is RJ45 for communications with your PC or any other things you wish to do. So next one is these 2 switches in here. This is, I already said, by default the bottom switch in here, which is you select between PNP and NPN. So we're going to be staying as default, not to complicate the system for our demonstrations. And also in here, this switch up here, that will determine, as you can see, what sort of a potentiometer or what sort of a frequency control you will have, which will be volts or current. So we're going to be using a volt. So we're going to, for our potentiometer, we are going to be flipping that upwards. So that's where we are going through with how the terminals work. So next up we'll have a look at it, how the control panel works. The control panel at the very beginning is a little bit confusing, depending who's looking at it. So it's got run and stop signal, and and then it goes up and down signal in there, and then you got a nice potentiometer for a local run. But this mode one in here is a bit like, what is that? So it's basically all it does is it's readouts. So you can have a look at a monitor, mainly used for monitoring. So that's it was that. But if you want to enter the menu, let's just get back to the normal screen. You just click enter, and in there you can see it goes. The first number that pops up, it's the groups, and he's got how many groups he's got? He's got 13 groups starting from 0 all the way to 13. So, and it's sort of segregated. I like that. It's quite nice. It's segregated into the groups, and then you could quickly jump to the group you need to pretty much have a look which parameters you need to work with. So that's pretty much that. And once you are identify a group you are going to do it, just click enter, and it's going to show up the subgroup. And from there on, you can go and select whatever the parameter you are after. We're going to be looking through most of them, nowhere near the most of them. We'll be looking at all the ones we need to commission the drive today and get the drive going in local mode. So the next tab, let's edit motor parameters. But before we do that, let's reset the drive, and to do that we need to go to a parameter group 0, and we need to go to a parameter 00.02, which is called parameter resets, and in there you enter, press enter, and there's a couple of selections you can do, and do check it out. But that's just quickly going to show you, go for the one we need, and that is going to be a 9 and a 10. 9 will determine will reset parameters to 50 Hz, and 10 will reset parameters to 60 Hz. So whichever country you are in, that's pretty much that. When we are in UK, we are going to be 9, and as it does that, and depending on a parameter 12, by default it stands at 230 volts. So it's pretty much, it does most of the work for me. So by entering that, it does that, and it resets all the parameters back to factory default, and that's pretty much how we reset the drive to factory reset. And when I say factory reset, I mean factory defaults. So the next thing we need to do is sort of edit the motor parameters, and there's not that much, because by default everything's already there. When you select your the parameter 00.00.12, and by default everything is almost there, more or less there. The only thing you need to know is the current. But before because we are going to be performing auto tune, we sort of need to put the drive into a local run. So the command source comes from a actual keypad. So for that we sort of need to make sure that we put 0201. So we'll do that one. 0201 we need to make, because by default that is at a external, so we need to make that on a digital keypad. So change that to 0, so we can pretty much activate the actual as you can see, by clicking the mode, it just reverts back to the groups. So we can be able to activate a run signal when we want to the auto tune. So for the auto tune, only thing it needs is we need to give him, because the parameter 101 and 102 are already set in there by default, and they are correct exactly to what my motor does. The only thing we're going to tell him what current of the motor it is. So, and that is going to be in here, and my one is on 1 amp, which I already edited in there. So from there on, enter that one, just go to a parameter 7.04, enter that one, and in there you have a option how you want to auto tune your drive. One is stationary, one is rotating. If your motor is free, like mine, do the rotational, and if your motor is not free, do your auto tuning selected to 1. I'm going to be doing to 2 because my motor can rotate. So let's enter that one, and once you've done that one, just click run signal, and it will do his business, so measuring whatever he's trying to measure. And he also be able to determine which one, the 701 under this auto tune. So, and all it's going to do is going to ramp up, ramp down, measure what it needs to do, and your motor is pretty much done. So if all went well, so just enter, and that should revert back to 0, and that's done. So your motor, I mean your drive, is pretty much ready to go and to be run from a local run. And the only thing left to do is pretty much to run the drive, because by default actually the source, the frequency source, that's the one we take by default. It is actually external, and that's the one we need to change that to. There's a couple of ways to control it, so we need to change that to 4 or a 0. So let me just change, enter that one. We're going to go down to 2. Enter. So at the moment by default it stands at a 1, which is a 0 to 10 volts. So what we're going to do in here is you can let's see what happens if you put that on a 0. And let's leave. So now we can adjust the speed with these buttons in here. Okay, so that's pretty much that. As you can see, my acceleration, the acceleration is just really 10 seconds. So I don't like that. We've got a nice potentiometer there, and that one, all you need to do is select option 4, and it will run your drive from a. Oh, let's get back to F. So now, when you click the run, as you can see, nothing happens, and that one doesn't work, but because it wants to work from a nice potentiometer, a little from actual potentiometer from the keypad. That is pretty much, that's all we really want to do to get this thing in a local run. Guys, if you are using it this way, do make sure you're using some form of e-stop functionality, like a so, where I can smack the e-stop and disconnect the output, or there is an option which I'm going to show you in the next video, where you can use it in a sort of a force the drive to disconnect the output with sending an external fault from within from some form of station. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, this will do for commissioning and checking this drive out. It's a good drive. It's packed with everything what pretty much everyone would need. And remember, this is that more advanced version. So obviously the EL version is less advanced. So, but nevertheless, it's pretty much all there. Sounds good. This kind of frequency by default it as 8. It is good. I like that. And there's a lot more in it, so I'll try to cover as much as I can. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. And if you like the video, smash that like, subscribe, and comment below any questions. I'll answer them as soon as I can, and of course as accurate as I can. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next video.